A little bit about me. I've been section manager since 2020, so just now starting on my fourth term here in Tennessee. Lived in Knoxville all my life. Been amateur radio operator for, I don't know, 10, 12 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. My background is in electronics. Years ago, had several friends that were amateur radio operators and got me interested in it. My education and degree is in electronics. I used to be a service technician in the consumer electronics business back years ago when you could actually make a living doing that and people had consumer electronics service. So because of my background, I enjoy working on equipment, especially antique amateur gear. But enough about me. The ARRL Tennessee, we are in the Delta Division. And Tennessee shares the division with Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. However, Tennessee is by far the largest. We have 3,125 ARRL members in the Tennessee section. Arkansas is the second largest with 1,100, Louisiana 960, and Mississippi 798. So in other words, Tennessee has more members in the Delta Division than the three other sections all combined. So Tennessee is by far the largest section in Delta. And in the Tennessee section, we have a pretty good size group of people that consist of the section cabinet and field services. We have two affiliated club coordinators, one that covers Nashville and East, and another one that covers Nashville and West. That is Tom Bridgewater, takes care of you guys over there. We have 5 assistant section managers, and those are rotated throughout the state. The one for West Tennessee, I think, is a member of the Delta Club, Tom Vickers. I believe he's a member of the club there, and he is an assistant section manager along with Matt Nicholas in Humboldt. Then there's 2 in Middle Tennessee and 1 in Chattanooga. We have a new public information coordinator that just started a couple of weeks ago, and he's a West Tennessee guy over near Jackson. A lot of you probably know Sky McCracken, KM4NYI. Sky has been a net manager for a long time for the Tennessee Phone Net, and he is the new section public information coordinator. He's had that job now for 2 weeks, and he's already got the winter edition of the newsletter out. So if you go to tnarrl.org, there's a link to the newsletter that Sky prints under Section Update. If you are subscribed to Section News, you should have got an email about that a couple of days ago. If you're not, I would suggest go online to ARRL.org, set up your online account, no charge, and when you do, it will ask you if you want to subscribe to Section and Division News. And if you check yes, you will get emails from me and the division director about things that are going on in Tennessee. We also have a technical coordinator who is C.T. Morgan. A lot of you probably know him over in Chattanooga, and he leads a team of technical specialists. The list of those and their contact information is on the website. Anybody that needs help, the technical specialist people are Tennessee people who are there to help you all out. We have people that are experts in certain areas of amateur radio. If you want to know about DMR or D-Star or system fusion or towers or antenna safety, there is a technical specialist for all of those things. Tim Berry is there for repeaters. So anybody that has a question about repeaters or repeater administration or frequency coordination, there's somebody there with a lifetime of experience that is willing to help other members of the Tennessee section. So that's a very good thing to take advantage of. In fact, we have a fella in West Tennessee that worked for many, many years with MFJ. And he did a lot of customer service and technical assistance with MFJ, and a very sharp guy. So anybody that has a question about an MFJ or an Ameritron product, anything like that, there's a technical specialist there. Our government liaison that keeps an eye on legislation affecting amateurs is Ingrid Close. She's had a lot of health issues lately, so kind of looking for somebody to take that position on. Our traffic manager that's in charge of the Tennessee phone net is Harold Davidson. He's over there in West Tennessee. And we also have a few openings for public information officers. If somebody in your club is the public information officer, if they would like to do that for the section, that would be great, because Sky, our coordinator, is always looking for information and news about what's going on in clubs. So we'd appreciate it when you guys have activities in the Delta Club, let us know. Send a picture to Sky. We'll be glad to put it in the newsletter and give you all some publicity about it. I guess one of the bigger things that we deal with at the section level is ARES. And in Tennessee, I was looking over the other day for our year-end report for 2025. In the Tennessee section, ARES had over 20,000 check-ins on local nets throughout the year 2025. They logged over 6,500 hours of training events, over 6,700 hours of public service events, over 4,000 hours of meetings and emergency services events, and 1,338 hours that ARES invested into Skywarn activities. All that is overseen by Jim Snyder, the section emergency coordinator, and he has a team of assistant SECs in East, Middle, and West Tennessee. But I guess looking at what's going on in the Tennessee section, the big news for 2026 is this is the year of the club. The board of directors in the league decided, and thankfully, they recognized that the backbone of the hobby and the backbone of the ARRL is local clubs. It's you folks sitting here in the room tonight at the Delta Club meeting. And so in 2026, there's all kinds of things going on to recognize amateur radio clubs. There's a club newsletter contest, a website contest. They are begging for pictures and news articles to go into QST of activities going on in clubs. There's a special website set up to help amateur radio clubs, and a new program called the Marconi program, which offers all kinds of help to get clubs to be more active and engaged with the members. And one of the things that I've gotten a lot of positive comments back on is a contest, a year-long contest called America 250 Worked All States. And I don't know how many of you have read about this online or not, but it is a year-long operating event that celebrates the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And it goes hand in hand with the year of the club. And the main award, the Worked All 50 award, you can earn by contacting all 50 states in the year 2026. So not too hard to do. Make contacts in all 50 states. You can apply for the America 250 WAS award, but they also have endorsements. If you work a club call in all 50 states, you get an endorsement for that. You could do a triple play endorsement by working all 50 states on CW and digital and phone. And there's also a W1AW endorsement. How many of you remember a couple of years ago when they done the Volunteers on the Air event, year-long operating event, and W1AW worked portable in all 50 states? They're doing that again this year for the America 250 contest. So W1AW is going to be operating in Tennessee for 1 week in June and another week in September. And what we're going to do with the Tennessee W1AW is try to focus on getting clubs to sign up and operate locally as W1AW. I don't know how many of you all got to participate in the VODA event when we done that a couple of years ago. But, you know, when you put out a CQ on the air using the W1AW call sign, you generally have an instant pileup because everybody wants to work W1AW. So that's a lot of fun. So we're going to be signing up clubs to take turns to operate during the 2 weeks. Kathy Goodrich, a lot of you probably know Kathy, W4CMG. She is going to be the frequency coordinator and scheduling person for the Tennessee section. So somebody from the section cabinet will be reaching out to the president of the Delta Club later this month or around the 1st of March to get you guys on the list. If you want to work together as the club from a central location, that's fine. But if you would rather just work yourself from home, your home station, you can sign up for a 2 or 3 hour time slot to operate as W1AW. Also, the Tennessee Section Convention is at the Knoxville Hamfest this year in June, and W1AW will be set up and operating from the Section Convention all day that Saturday. So if you come to the section convention at Knoxville in June, you can also operate W1AW from that. I want to talk a little bit, and I'm going to try to get through this in a hurry because I want to leave time for questions and answers, but just a few things to share about benefits for the local club, being an ARRL affiliated club, which the Delta is. You all have been an affiliated club, I think, a lot longer than I've been around, probably longer than anybody in the room's been around since the foundation of the club, as far as I know. But don't know if Delta is doing this or not, but there is a commission program that the league offers where if somebody joins the ARRL through your club, the league will pay you a $20 commission. And I don't know how much your dues are annually. I know the local club here in Knoxville, our annual dues are $20. So if somebody joins the league through our club, it's like we get double dues for that year. And they do $5 for annual renewal, but $20 that you can get for any new league member. The reconciliation form is online. It's very easy. And basically all it takes is a stamp for the club to mail it in, and the league sends you back a check for $20.
We do it already.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Do it. And also, when did it go up to $20 from $15 for a new member?
I think last year, toward the end of the year, it went from 15 to 20.
Okay.
And there's a new reconciliation form online too. So make sure if you haven't downloaded the new form, go to the website. Just type in the keyword club commission, and it'll take you and bring you to the new form. And you can also, if somebody wants to join, they can write a check or they can put down their credit card number on the form and mail it in. And the league will mail you guys back $20. So definitely worth it. But also, there's a new program that the league is mailing information to new amateur operators. In other words, they are mailing a welcome to the hobby letter and information to people that are newly licensed amateurs. One of the things they include in those letters is information about their nearest club. So in other words, if somebody in the zip code or maybe 2 zip codes around the mailing address for the Delta Club, somebody gets their license in your zip code, the league will mail them information about the ARRL, and they will also have a little section in there that says, hey, you have a league affiliated club, the Delta Club. Here's their website. Here's their information. Very important to make sure that somebody from your club goes online to the league website every year and make sure you update your information. Make sure your website, your email address, make sure all that is right. That way, when they're sending this out to new amateur operators, it's going to give them the right information to put them in touch with the Delta Club. Of course, you guys have a great Hamfest coming up this year. I've been hearing a lot of things about it in a new location, and so that's going to be nice. I thought the old location was great, but I've had 3 people tell me that the new location is even bigger and better and offers a lot of room for growth. So I think that's going to be great. Of course, it's league affiliated, so the ARRL will send you all some prize coupons and things like that, and also advertise for it. I'll make sure to send out an email to the section about a week in advance to try to help out with that. Uh, I always try to say a little bit about why I feel like the ARRL is important, why I believe membership is important. This is why I've been a member and served as section manager for the last few years. And there's a lot of reasons to join the ARRL. I mean, there's access online to the Learning Center, all kinds of information that's on there. That is, they have spent a tremendous amount of time and money and effort over the last 2 or 3 years to put information online in the Learning Center. Of course, the league is involved in everything from contests to awards, technical assistance. I mean, support for local clubs, logbook of the world, QST on the air, QEX, the contest journal. All the magazines are free to all members online. So if you want a paper version, they charge for that, but everybody gets access online to all the magazines, not just QST. I will let you in on a personal piece of advice on the magazines. If you have an iPad or a tablet, there is an app, a free app that you can get from the App Store to look at QST and the magazines on your tablet. That is the easiest way that I have found to look at the magazines electronically. I like doing that a lot better than I do on my computer screen because I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the pictures. I'm getting older. Well, I don't know. I don't think any of you guys are getting older, but I'm getting older on my side. So I find myself really enjoying being able to make the pictures bigger when I'm looking at an article on QST, especially the drawing or a diagram or something like that. And it's really easy to do if you're looking at it on your iPad or your tablet or even your smartphone. So that's a good idea. But also Aries, the ARRL laboratory, the VEC, all that goes on through the ARRL. Their work and outreach with students and clubs, the space station. Look at the FCC. The league is our voice with the FCC. Nobody else has that amount of influence for the commission that the ARRL has. The legislative part of the ARRL is very important. We have been working right now, and I know you all have probably signed the online petition that's going out to all the House of Representatives and the Senate to get this legislation passed where people will be protected if you live in an HMA where you'll be able to have an antenna. Things like that would not be happening without the ARRL. So, the relationship the league has and gives our best interest to the FCC, also with FEMA, the Red Cross, VOAD, all the state emergency management agencies. ARRL is our voice, especially with Congress. And let's face it, I mean, amateur radio is a great hobby, but to try to get everybody on the same page without the league to do that would kind of be like herding cats. It would be really hard to have much influence with Congress. But all of that, to me, is second place. As good as it is, that pales in comparison with the most important reason I think that the ARRL exists and the ARRL that you need to be a member, and that is spectrum defense. There's a lot of demand out there for spectrum. A few years ago, there was an auction that of some tiny little slivers of spectrum that brought in billions of dollars. There is demand out there for that. The telecom industry, that in itself, they have more money than amateur radio could ever dream about having. And the ARRL goes to bat with the FCC to make sure that that our spectrum is defended. To me, if the league didn't do anything else, it's worth the membership dues just for that. A lot of you probably have read about this group that is trying to get the FCC to allow them to operate some really high power transmitters very near to our 40-meter band, and it is to transmit data in real time for the stock market. So this that they have the FCC has agreed to let them test some of it. The league has came out swinging with the FCC to stop this. That this is not a good idea because it is it's digital transmission. So to listen to it, it sounds like broadband noise. Very, very powerful signals based here in the United States, and it's where stockbrokers can get a small edge on timing to buy and sell stock. If this were to go through, this would be a huge detriment to HF operating for amateur radio operators. And so we're going up against Wall Street. So you can imagine where the money is there. But the ARRL has came out swinging on that, and thank goodness, hopefully they'll be able to put a stop to that, or at least get it moved away from the amateur radio bands where it won't be bothering us on our HF frequencies. We have enough problem with noise interference and things like that without adding to it. But those are just a few of the things that I wanted to go over and touch on this evening. One of the biggest things is I wanted to find out what's going on in the Delta Club and any questions that you all might have this evening. Anything that I might be able to help answer for you.
Anybody have any questions for Dave? Sounds like you covered it all. Yeah. Great part of it. I have just a comment. I didn't realize a lot of that resources were available, like for repeater, technical repeater resources and things.
Yeah, and see, that's a Tennessee thing right there. That's not a national thing with the league. Now there's information and assistance available through the league, but if you go to the state website, tnarrl.org, and click on technical specialist, that will bring you up to a list of the current technical specialist. And we have a few openings too. So if there's somebody there in the Delta Club that there's a certain aspect of amateur radio that they're all about, they're an expert in that field, whether it's FT8 or whatever, let me know. If you're willing to share your expertise and knowledge with other people, we'll get you appointed as a technical specialist, because that's what it's all about, is to help other amateur operators. I mean, elmering is very, very important, and that's kind of a way that we can offer help with elmering.
Who do we reach out to do W1AW?
That would be Kathy Goodrich, W4CMG. Kathy's over in Nashville. She has been active in the Tennessee ARRL for a long time, and the Delta division. She's a big contester and CW operator, but she's going to be coordinating it. Now, the clubs, the section cabinet members, the assistant section managers are going to be reaching out to you guys to schedule. But we will have the next edition of the newsletter. We'll have some more information about scheduling. There will be time for everybody that wants to operate, whether you want to operate as part of a club or if you want to just do it at home by yourself, because different bands can be used at the same time as W1AW and different modes. So in other words, on a Tuesday, that week when it's W1AW, on a Tuesday morning, there could be one station operating 20 meter CW, another one 20 meter digital, and another 20 meter phone, all at the same time. So anybody that wants to work as W1AW, they'll have the opportunity. Over the course of the week, between all the modes and all the bands, there'll be plenty of time. But if you want to go ahead and reach out to her, W4CMG, Kathy Goodrich, and we're going to, I think the next edition of the newsletter will have her contact information. And so next month that should be out, and she'll start taking requests for scheduling.
Dave?
Yeah.
Delta Club in December 15th of 2005, we used W1AW/4 during the Katrina toy drive. And then when we took the toys down to Biloxi or Gulfport, we used W1AW stroke 5 on single sideband and on APRS. And
That's great.
what I understand, the first time W1AW had been mobile.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I never knew that it had ever been mobile.
We were allowed to do it for the Katrina toy drive. We collected the toys in Memphis and took them down to Gulfport for the Salvation Army to distribute in the area. That was a Delta Division project that Henry Leggett had gotten us involved in.
And I talked to Henry at the Delta Hamfest last year. Now he's a member of the Delta Club, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking that he was out there.
He hasn't been to a club meeting in a while. He fell short recently, and he's not getting out at night much.
I hate to hear that. I always look forward to talking to him at the Delta Hamfest over there. Well, I appreciate knowing about that. So I'll be. I mean that way I'll know for sure Delta Club will be showing up on the W1AW list this year. That's great.
Anybody got any more questions for Dave? All right.
One thing that I would suggest on the W1AW, if you have somebody there in the club that doesn't mind other people coming over, you might want to schedule a couple of operating blocks for W1AW and invite other members of the club to come over. The Cumberland Amateur Radio Club in Crossville, they were one of the top 3 clubs for the W1AW a couple years ago. They operated from a member's shack, and I think they had about 6 or 8 hours of time, and they had, I think, 15 or 16 club members that came by this one guy's house and operated, and they were in the top 5 of the clubs in the state. I think Williamson County Aries was the number 1, followed by the Cleveland Amateur Radio Club, and then the Cumberland County Club over in Crossville. So if somebody there in the Delta Club would like to invite other people come over and make an event out of it, you rack up a lot of contacts that way.
We'll go to Tyler's dad's house.
Hello.
Oh, let's do our drawing while you're here.
What was that?
We'll do the drawing while you're here.
Oh, okay, yeah. I really hated that I couldn't be there, but Memphis is kind of a long drive from Knoxville to go to a club meeting.
Oh. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey. Cool. All right. Thank you, David.
Well, hey, thank you. And I appreciate y'all asking me to come by for a little bit. It's been nice talking to everybody. And hopefully we'll catch you later this year. I don't know. I had something else that was ended up being scheduled for the weekend of the Delta Hamfest this year. So I don't know if I can get out. I'm going to try to get out of it if I can. I'd rather go to the Hamfest. But if not, I'm thinking about trying to go over to your area for field day this year. The last 2 years, it's been 3 years since I've been on the western part. And the last time I went, I was kind of on the northwestern. So this time, I think for field day, I might try to go over and stop by the Delta Club first and then work my way back toward the east. So if I don't see you all at the Hamfest, I'll hopefully see you on field day this year, one or the other.
Cool.
personally, I'd really rather go to the Ham Fest. I'm looking forward to the new location. I've talked to several people who seem real excited about that. So looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
We are too.
And just a question is it still benefiting the Children's Hospital?
No,
The
sir,
Ham
not
Fest.
this time. That was a function of the previous, club's efforts of doing that. Not saying that we
Okay.
won't be, I'm not saying that we won't be able to make a contribution, we just don't know yet.
Right, right. Well, I mean, it's a good time to make changes. It sounds like that you're kind of entering on a new chapter in the Ham Fest with a new location. And I've talked to a lot of people that have really bragged about the Ham Fest over the years and how big it used to be. And I had somebody the other day said that they think that this might be what it takes to bring it back around to where it looked like what it was a few years ago. But Hamfest have really had a tough time the last few years, and a lot of them have shrunken and gotten smaller. A lot of the bigger companies and vendors are gone. Just losing MFJ has hurt a lot of Hamfest. But you know what? Hamfest to me, a lot of it's about the fellowship and it's about seeing other hams and to get to talk to people. The Boneyard seems to still be a big draw to the Hamfest, and so I don't know. It's just Hamfest aren't going away. They're just not going to look down the road. I don't think they're going to look like what they have in the past. I think they're just changing, and a lot of those changes seem to be pretty positive. But I appreciate you all asking me to come by tonight.
Yep, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.